AppExchange can provide you with add-ons of any size, from some basic custom views to huge quoting applications that Salesforce could even recommend you to use if CPQ package doesn't cover your needs.
Let's talk about some challenges that you face during the developing packages for AppExchange.
Because you need to understand who would be the end users of your product and how it would be used.
How do you imagine the team of specialists that will develop a package?
Solutions that are easy to configure and use will dominate the marketplace for sure.
Apps on AppExchange are designed to seamlessly integrate with Salesforce, allowing for smooth user experience and minimal setup time. Hi there, it's your host Sergii, a Salesforce Consultant and admin team lead from Synebo. And guess what? We're back in action with the podcast you've all been waiting for. We got everything you need, the hottest topics, the coolest guests, a truckload of expertise, and a lot of fun. Today we're going to talk about AppExchange. Get ready to dive deep into the world of Salesforce packages, benefits of leveraging AppExchange, and the challenges developers and admins encounter along the way. Before we jump into the good stuff, don't forget to show us some love by hitting that like button, and let's get started. My guest today is Victoria, a Senior Salesforce Developer and team lead here at Synebo, who has solid experience in releasing packages to AppExchange. Victoria has designed, developed, and prepared solutions for the AppExchange security review process, and customers have successfully passed them.
Hi everyone, I'm really excited to share my experience with you all. But for those who are unfamiliar with the topic, Sergii, maybe you could do a small brief?
Yeah, sure. AppExchange is a marketplace for business applications. It's a platform where users can find, try, and install various apps and services that extend the functionality of Salesforce. It's like a huge store full of tools and apps that make Salesforce even better. You can find all sorts of things here, from apps that help with sales to ones that manage customer service. You can find applications that help you integrate third-party systems, for example. If you use Salesforce, AppExchange can make your life a lot easier or even more complex. So let's explore it and find out how this marketplace work. The first question that comes up to me is why do we need AppExchange at all if Salesforce provides us with the various functionalities out of the box? So what's your opinion?
So as we know, there is, as you said, a lot of functionality already provided by Salesforce. And you can't even imagine how many additional functionalities there are outside of the Salesforce, and they all exist as the packages in the AppExchange. AppExchange can provide you with add-ons of any size, from some basic custom views to huge quoting applications that Salesforce could even recommend you to use if CPQ package doesn't cover your needs. It also holds various integrations with famous third-party systems made by these companies. And they provide you with the packages with some components which you can use in your apps or even flows. And for example, here at Synebo, we also have the AppExchange package called Lightning Universal Lookup Component that behaves the same as Lightning Lookup, but also is available for use in custom development and flows. Isn't it great to be able to use Lightning Lookup with filtering out of the box during the flow development, right?
Yeah, I think it's a cool thing, and maybe we can even put a link here. So if you're interested, you can check this component. So briefly, if you're looking for some custom solutions, but you don't have enough, for example, resources to develop it on your own, or maybe you have lack of expertise or not enough budget, there is likely an app for that on the AppExchange that would fit your needs. Now let's talk about the differences between the managed packages and unmanaged packages, because I bet all specialists who work with Salesforce hear about it, but what is the main difference?
So the main difference is the openness of the code itself. Managed packages are created by third-party developers and are typically more structured and controlled. They come with features like version control, licensing, and support, making them ideal for businesses looking for reliable, scalable solutions. And managed packages also provide you with a ready-to-use custom solution And usually they do not bring you much control over the mechanism inside it. It's also suitable for businesses who do not want to share the algorithms with the public. So they just provide you with a black box solution and you just using it. And on the other hand, unmanaged packages are more flexible and are often used for smaller scale customizations or for sharing code between different Salesforce orgs. So they don't have the same level of version control and support as managed packages, but they offer greater freedom for customization and experimentation. They give you the ability to spread the code between the environments easily, but it also gives the end developers the ability to modify the package components, which is not possible in managed packages.
Got it. So the main difference is that unmanaged packages are like open, but like share its code, and managed one, no.
Yeah,
Um,
they're completely closed. You cannot even you don't know what it's doing. It's just doing its stuff.
okay. Let's talk about some like challenges that you faced during the like developing packages for AppExchange, and maybe you can tell us several examples and how did you overcome them?
Well, I guess the main challenge might be in passing all the security scans and the security review for the app exchange itself. Sometimes when you develop an app, you're using some libraries that can later fail the review, or you forget to check all the um, create, read, edit, delete permissions for all your DML operations, or like querying the data. And like this might be the biggest challenge when you scanning your solution and fixing all the issues that are found. And another thing that you need to think really wide when you're designing the solution, because you need to understand who would be the end users of your product and how it would be used. Because once your solution is packaged, you cannot easily change something, or like you can modify the not the flow itself, but you can modify some things that are working there, but you cannot easily add or delete components. And like this is not as you can do with the custom development. And all of the next releases should be really done with consideration of all the clients who might already use the product. So in example, you cannot just delete the field from your logic because customers can already build some logic like above it. They can use it in their flows or some validation rules, things like this. So you cannot just delete your field.
Mhm. So you should be really thorough when you like preparing the package.
Yeah.
Because like you mentioned with the field, it can happen. It can happen with everything almost. Like field can be used in the flows, in reports, and if you decide like to delete it, it will be not possible. Or if you will, for example, implement another field like instead, and I imagine
Yeah.
when somebody will update the package and they will like maybe didn't read the like release notes
Yeah.
and still use the old field instead of new one, it can cause a lot of issues.
Yeah, it can be the real problem because you can, for example, as a third-party package developer, you just decided that a new field would be used, and all of the data is moving to the new field. And customer, as you said, they will just skip the release notes and then come to you with like, why all my data is blank because they are checking old field. Yeah, it's a good example.
You also mentioned the security scans. Let's talk a little bit more about the security review process. When it starts in the listing process, how long it typically takes to pass?
Well, it depends. As I remember, Salesforce give themselves like 5 weeks to review your like to do the security review of your solution. But usually, like I know that it can happen in 2 days, in 10 days, like, and sometimes it really takes 5 weeks. It just, I think, is a matter of luck. Yeah, but they promise that they like would take a maximum of 5 weeks to review your solution.
What steps can business take if it doesn't pass the security review on the first attempt?
So the Salesforce should provide them with all the materials, what they think is incorrect there, or maybe insecure, and they need to business needs to fix these issues, or provide some proof that it's not an issue and it's not going to cause security issues. But usually you need to fix all the issues, redo the scans, and Salesforce provide you with one free rescan. Not rescan, but like a resubmitting of your security review. So the next one should be like free of charge. But you should really take notes of all the issues that were found and deal with them somehow.
Mm-hmm. It is possible that, for example, they will provide you with some like list after the scan, that list of issues, and then once you fix it, is it possible that they can find something else?
It shouldn't be possible. Like they do the full scan of your solution and they should provide you with all the list before, because I think otherwise it would be some scanning. I don't know. Provide you with just a few issues and then you have more. But usually it's really easy to prepare for the security review yourself, because Salesforce has provided you with all the scanning tools that they're using. So you can do this scanning by yourself and really see if you have any issues or not. And if your solution is fully documented, if you provide the good documentation, complete one. If you're using some integration or third-party service, if you provide the documentation for it, if you scan this third-party service, and if you're scanning your solution and see that there is no issues, I don't think that Salesforce would find some more, because they try to do this transparently, and they provide you with all the scanning tools that they're using.
Got it. Can you share with us some success story of an app you developed for the AppExchange?
Yeah, sure. I have already a few packages there. So in my experience, I have developed solutions from scratch, and also just took part in passing the security review for already developed applications. And I think that my favorite case is probably the integration package, which brings customers' data from the third-party system to the Salesforce. It is something like an external knowledge base displayed in the Salesforce apps and also in Experience Cloud. And this package had tons of functionality, HTML, JavaScript, some libraries, and also it has the API calls to the external system. And this was a complicated project, but developing it with plans to release it to AppExchange really helped. When we were scanning our solution for the first time, we got things to fix. We understood like what we should check and how the security review is working. And like when we were developing it, we were not aware about them. So we needed to verify even the libraries that we were working with. And also another thing that Salesforce requires, they require the scanning of of the third-party API that we were using. So the client had to scan the API and prove that it is secure and developed with the newest technologies and standards. And in the end, we fixed our code, provided Salesforce with all the documents and architecture diagrams. We provided with the scan results, and we made it to that exchange.
Got it. So not only the package should be like secure, also if you use the API, it should be secret as well.
Yes, right.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, really interesting, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Salesforce cares about the security.
Yeah. And as the AppExchange continues to grow and evolve, what future trends do you foresee that business owners and developers should be aware of? Like, especially, how will the increasing popularity of the admin role over the developer role influence these trends?
So I think that future AppExchange offerings will likely emphasize improved user interfaces and user experiences. As more non-developers engage with these tools, intuitive and accessible design will become crucial. Solutions that are easy to configure and use will dominate the marketplace for sure, and also the integrations of artificial intelligence and automation into AppExchange applications will become more prevalent. I also think that tools that leverage AI for predictive analysis, customer insights, and automated workflows will help businesses optimize operations and improve decision-making process. And as I mentioned before, seamless integrations with all other businesses' systems and applications is, and I think still will be a key trend. AppExchange solution that can easily connect and exchange data with external platforms will be essential for businesses looking to streamline their operations and maintain a unified tech ecosystem.
You not agree with the with my statement that like admin role taking over the developer role? I mean, especially the AppExchange. So, because you like simply put, you need a developer to to develop the package. Yeah.
I think that packages that leverage some flows, I think they are already there, and they also might take take the lead. But I think that some integrations would still be the more used, because businesses always try to put all the big and hard processes all inside your Salesforce, and then admin would struggle to configure all of them.
Yeah, and especially if like big amount of data is involved, and admins with flows is like struggling every day with the CPU time limits and some other issues.
Okay, so I think that now it's your turn, Sergei. Could you tell us from your experience how admins use AppExchange?
Yeah, sure. Like I can highlight as an admin, I can highlight two use cases when we need to use AppExchange. The first one will be if like new functionality required, and one of the options is to find the solution on the AppExchange. So like first of all, as an admin, I will try to understand the need, what like the business, what business needs, and then if we are unable to cover the need using standard functionality, or for some reason client doesn't want to invest in custom development, we will utilize AppExchange. We'll either use some packages that we already aware of, or we'll browse through categories and look for some like top packages with good reviews to find apps that fit our needs, whether it's like project management, customer support, marketing, whatever. We'll check out reviews, as I mentioned, and ratings from other users to see which apps are like reliable and effective. Maybe Google some reviews as well. And once we find an app, we simply click get it now, log in and follow the prompts, and like install it directly to Salesforce environment. But the best practice is to install it to Sandbox first, test it there, maybe involve some end users and ask them to perform user acceptance testing, and then we can customize the app to fit like the business processes better. And most apps come with settings that you can adjust like without needing the code. So like this is our like normal use case of the AppExchange. The second use case will be like when we need some integration and there is a package for this integration, and you don't need to involve developers to build some custom APIs. We'll just install the package. The good example is the DocuSign e-signature, for example. You simply install the package, like in my first example. Then you log into both accounts, Salesforce and DocuSign account, finish the setup, and like you're ready to go. The important thing when you use packages, you need to regularly update your apps to get the latest features and security improvement. It's really important to check for new versions and install updates as needed. And also you need to keep an eye on how the apps are performing and make adjustments as your business needs change. So you can install the package and then you can monitor that you have like more bad data, or you can notice that it conflicts with some processes, with some running processes that you have, for example, with some triggers, with some flows, and as a result, you receive a bad data or unfull data.
And also, you can spot that they added some functionality that you really needed and you shouldn't develop it on your own, like about the package.
Sometimes it happens when you're trying to extend the functionality with some custom solutions, and then they can add it to the package. So you also need to monitor it, and then you can like deactivate your like extended automation, and then use the solution that was like released with the new update.
Sergii, I got one question while you were describing the use of AppExchange as an admin. Have you tried to use some package that you were not familiar about? Some unpopular one that you just found in the AppExchange, and you read the description or something like this, and you thought that you needed.
Yeah, I had some episodes, but as I mentioned, I'm trying to follow the best practice, so I will never install it like straight to production, like especially when it's like live production when people are walking. So I will try to install in sandbox, check it there, maybe like do some tests, involve QA engineer if we need some some heavy tests with big amount of data, and usually at this point I understand that is it okay or not, can we like release it or not. So I'm trying to like be on the safe side, and I will never suggest to a client some solution that I'm not sure of. Like I'll put all cards on the table. I'll tell them that I don't know anything about the solution, but yeah, it's free. It do something that maybe will help you, but I'm not sure in it. Like on the other hand, you can, for example, invest 30 hours into custom development, and I'm sure about it. So they have to, understand the risks and then decide. But it always depends on the client, on the organization. If it's like a small organization with a small amount of data, it can be okay to install some unknown solution and then like use it for a couple of days and then delete it.
Yeah, play with it and see.
Yeah. Okay, and I have another question to you as well. Like, how do you imagine like the um, team of specialists that will develop a package?
So from my experience, I've worked mostly with teams consisting of Salesforce developers and front-end developers, I think, because usually you need to provide some UI to use your applications. And as usually it is some kind of integration, for example, you need Salesforce developers. Also, I've worked in these teams, there were QA engineers that were testing our solution before we even start thinking about releasing it. And I once worked on a package with admins. We needed to set up a few, applications, layouts, some automations that should be declarative, and also it's a good use of admins to set up all your security things, to set up profiles, permission sets, and things like this. Yeah.
So, like in your case, it's mostly development team plus front end engineer for UI. But it it always depends on the solution, on the need. So if it requires some Lightning pages, Salesforce apps, so you obviously need an admin. On the other hand, everything else will be developed developed by the developers.
It's just integration, so that's why it's mostly the developers. But anyway, you need to set up the security ecosystem, I would say. I don't know how to say it correctly, but anyway, you would need some permission sets and maybe profiles, and it's better to consult and ask some help for an admin.
Yeah, especially when your package, when you allow like several roles of users in your package. I mean, if there is like admin permission, admin interface. Yeah, in this case, maybe admin, some users, like higher level users, and they need, or they all of them need different access. In this case, you can do it with the permission sets. And admin here, Salesforce administrator is required, I would say.
I totally agree.
All right, and now is the time to talk about the pros and cons of using the AppExchange. And I can start with the pros, and you can add if you think that I'm wrong. You can add something. Let's start with the pros. I think one of the important things is the seamless integration. So I already mentioned that you can install it by just clicking one button. So apps on AppExchange are designed to seamlessly integrate with Salesforce, allowing for like smooth user experience and minimal setup time. I think it's an advantage. Another point will be like time and cost savings. So instead of building custom solution from scratch, business can leverage like pre-built apps from AppExchange, saving time and reducing development costs. And the next one will be reliability and security. So we talked about it. Apps listed on AppExchange go through strict security reviews by Salesforce, ensuring they meet strict security standards and are safe to use.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Like, I think that like the most like the biggest pros of using package of AppExchange, I think mostly it would be the working tool. It is secured. It is like you can rely on it, but it might not cover all your needs because you were thinking about like you're not thinking about exactly DocuSign package, for example. You just think that you need you need to send your documents, but you don't want the full integration or things like this. You don't see the full picture when you think about adding something to your ecosystem. And so you need to you get the working solution, and then you try, is it working for you or not?
Yeah, definitely. I think I said it a lot, but it always depends on the organization. Because if there is a possibility to involve, to increase the team, not only like have developers and admins, it's like if you have a budget, it's really helpful to have a business analyst, Salesforce consultant who can like analyze your current workflow, your database, your data model, and maybe they can predict how will it like counteract, how will this new package counteract with your current setup.
Yeah.
But again, it depends. It depends on a lot of things. And now let's talk about cons. I think the first one will be the cost. Yeah, I know I mentioned it in the pros, but while many apps on AppExchange offer free trials or have free version, some apps require a subscription or one-time purchase fee, which can like add up over time. So sometimes you also need to think that like maybe like short term it's cheaper to purchase some package, but if you're thinking like long term, like years forward, maybe it's worth to develop something custom.
Yeah, you're right. As we were talking a lot about integrations. Usually, you need also some subscription for this integration, not only Salesforce package. So yeah, it can cost you.
Yeah, and it can like add up over time, as I said, and you can have a really good bill through the years. The next point will be the compatibility issue. I mean, the like integrating third-party apps from AppExchange with existing Salesforce configuration can sometimes lead to compatibility issues or conflicts requiring like additional troubleshooting. So maybe sometimes you can think that, oh, I'll just install this package and it will like fix all my problems, and then you face more problems. I even have an example with the DLRS package. You familiar with this? Yeah, it's
Yes.
like I face it like I don't know how many times, tens of times, when like
It was really popular and it was really pain.
yeah, because like usually people who set it up not familiar, they just think that, oh, I just need a, for example, I need a roll up field between two objects, but there is a lookup. I'll install the package and and it will create a job and it will run every day and I will be okay. But then they create tens and hundreds of these jobs, and they like don't think that they have some custom development. They have triggers, they have flows, and like during the time everything like doesn't work, neither package or current trigger, and it really can be a pain.
You're right. And it was really painful to even remove it.
Yes.
To uninstall it, it was another challenge, I think.
And then you still need this functionality that so you will develop this.
Yeah.
And in the end you will you will spend more time and more money. So
Yeah, then just developing the functionality.
yes, exactly. Or even, like it's not that bad. You can, but like initially you need somebody who familiar with it. Okay. The next point will be like dependency on third-party developers. I mean that businesses that relying heavily on third-party apps may face challenges. If the developer like discontinues to support the support or like fails to update the app, um, I think like your work can stop. So if you like really rely on one solution, especially one free solution from the AppExchange, it's really bad.
Yeah, if it is integrated in your core functionality, it's not just some add-on that ease your work, but it's something core calculation or things like this. Yeah, I think just one update with a mistake in the newer version, and yeah, you can get into trouble.
Yeah, and like it can be like, for example, they can just stop to support the package, and it will take you, I don't know, weeks or months to find something else to replace it, to train your users. And like, can you imagine some big business like that will not work for several weeks? Yeah, so this can be an issue. Another point, another con would be the learning and training. So even though we mentioned that like packages usually easy to use, have some friendly interface, but if you're implementing and configuring something that not like runs on the background, for example, that like extends the functionality from the user perspective, you need to train them. Especially users that like unfamiliar with Salesforce administration or customization, just like normal end users. It can be like some salesperson that use Salesforce, then you install some app to I don't know, to send contracts, to generate and send contracts, and you need to train them. And it takes some time. You need to train them. You need to prepare some guidelines. You need to update them frequently. Like, but maybe something has changed.
Um, I would think that like training could be the pain for the custom solution as well. uh,
Yes, I agree.
yeah, yeah. But you would need to prepare the documentation to train your end
Yeah.
user.
On the other hand, packages has their own documentation.
Yes, it was prepared, and we hope that it was prepared in a good way. But I was thinking that for the AppExchange, it can be a problem in the way that with a newer version they just change the UI, and you need to train all your people again.
Yeah, it happens. It happens a lot. And the last point would be the performance impact. Apps from AppExchange can potentially impact the performance of the Salesforce instance, especially if the apps require like significant processing power or data storage. Maybe it's related to the if you're talking about the like processing power, maybe those packages like update your data, like maybe like as nightly batch, but update a big amount of data. So it can cause an issue. Or with the data storage, maybe like this package works with some files and like create some files or pull it from somewhere. So you need to monitor. It.
Night updates are not that bad. It's even worse when it's updating after any change that user made. It's starting to recalculate your whole organization.
Yeah, nightly batch, I think it's like the safest one. But
yeah.
but despite that it's a nightly batch, if it failed during the night, like your users wake up, they start their work day, and they work with the data. They don't know if it's accurate or not. If it's not updated, and if it's crucial for you to have updated data,
Yeah.
it can be an issue. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed our conversation about AppExchange and found it both informative and entertaining. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. It really helps us and ensures you won't miss any future episodes. We would also love to hear from you. If you think we missed any important questions or have any topics you would like us to cover in future episodes, leave a comment below. Your feedback is super valuable to us. And until next time, keep exploring the world of Salesforce, stay curious, and keep having fun.